In American history, few figures have sparked as much admiration and as much outrage as Donald John Trump. To some, he is a self-made billionaire, a patriot who fought against the establishment. To others, he is a controversial disruptor, a man whose name became synonymous with division. But beyond the headlines, the tweets, and the rallies, who is the man behind the legend? This is the story of Donald Trump, the boy from Queens who rose to the most powerful office in the world. Donald John Trump was born on June 14, 1946, in Queens, New York. The fourth of 5 children in the Trump family, he grew up in privilege, but not without discipline. His father, Fred Trump, was a hard-driving real estate developer, strict and relentless. His mother, Mary, was a Scottish immigrant who instilled a sense of resilience. But Donald was no ordinary child. Energetic, ambitious, often rebellious. His parents sent him to the New York Military Academy at just 13 years old. There he discovered leadership and the taste of authority. Commanding young cadets gave him confidence, but also foreshadowed the tough, sometimes confrontational style that would define his future. After attending Fordham University and later transferring to the prestigious Wharton School of Finance at the University of Pennsylvania, Donald Trump entered his father's business. But he wasn't content with small housing projects in Brooklyn and Queens. He wanted Manhattan. He wanted skyscrapers. He wanted his name in gold. In the 1970s and 80s, Trump became a force in New York real estate. He bought the aging Commodore Hotel and transformed it into the Grand Hyatt. Then came Trump Tower, a gleaming symbol of power and ambition, rising on Fifth Avenue. His empire expanded into casinos, hotels, golf courses, and branding deals. But his appetite for risk often brought him to the edge of financial ruin. In the early 1990s, his empire nearly collapsed under billions in debt. Yet, like a showman who refuses to leave the stage, Trump fought his way back. He rebranded himself, not just as a developer, but as a celebrity businessman. His name itself became the product. By the turn of the 2000s, Donald Trump was no longer just a businessman. He was a household name. He licensed his brand worldwide and, in 2004, became the star of The Apprentice. The show was a cultural phenomenon. Millions watched as Trump pointed his finger and delivered his signature catchphrase, "You're fired." It was entertainment, but it was also power. Trump became the symbol of wealth, authority, and decisive leadership. He wasn't just building buildings anymore. He was building an image. But behind the spotlight, controversy followed. Lawsuits, bankruptcies, questions about his business practices. Still, for Trump, attention, whether good or bad, was fuel. For decades, Donald Trump flirted with politics. Interviews in the 1980s and 90s show him criticizing America's trade deals, foreign policy, and leadership. He donated to both Republicans and Democrats, but few took his ambitions seriously. That all changed in June 2015. In a speech at Trump Tower, he declared his candidacy for President of the United States. His words, raw, controversial, unapologetic, electrified millions and shocked the political establishment. "Make America Great Again" became his rallying cry. And despite mockery from the media, despite fierce opposition, his movement grew. Rallies filled stadiums. His outsider message resonated with millions of Americans who felt ignored by Washington elites. And then, the impossible happened. On November 8, 2016, Donald Trump defeated Hillary Clinton to become the 45th President of the United States. The world watched in disbelief, and history was made. Donald Trump entered the White House as the first president with no prior political or military experience. His presidency was unlike any other. Unpredictable, fiery, and constantly in the spotlight. He pushed for tax cuts, deregulation, a hardline stance on immigration, and a new kind of foreign policy he called America First. He clashed with allies, confronted rivals, and sought to rewrite trade deals. His supporters saw strength. His critics saw chaos. Every tweet became news. Every decision sparked debate. From his handling of the economy, which saw record highs before the COVID-19 pandemic, to his Supreme Court nominations that reshaped American law, Trump left a mark that cannot be ignored. But his presidency was also rocked by controversy, investigations into Russian interference, 2 impeachments, and an unprecedented level of division in American politics. And then came 2020. The COVID-19 pandemic tested his leadership like never before. Supporters praised his push to reopen the economy. Critics condemned his handling of the crisis. The nation grew more polarized than ever. In November 2020, Donald Trump faced Joe Biden in one of the most contentious elections in U.S. history. Biden won. Trump claimed the election was stolen. What followed shook the nation. Lawsuits, recounts, and ultimately, the storming of the U.S. Capitol on January 6, 2021. The world watched in shock as the Trump era came to a fiery close. But for Donald Trump, defeat was not the end. From his estate in Mar-a-Lago, he remained a dominant force in American politics, commanding loyalty from millions of supporters and reshaping the Republican Party in his image. Even after leaving office, Donald Trump's influence only grew. Rallies continued, his name dominated headlines. And in 2024, he launched yet another campaign for the presidency, proving once again that he was not done fighting. Love him or hate him, Donald Trump changed American politics forever. He shattered traditions, rewrote the rules of campaigning, and proved that one man, with a microphone, a message, and relentless determination, can shake the foundations of the most powerful nation on earth. Donald Trump's story is not just about business, politics, or power. It is about ambition, controversy, and the relentless pursuit of influence. From the streets of Queens to the Oval Office, he has lived a life larger than fiction. And whether history crowns him as a hero or a villain, one truth remains undeniable. Donald J. Trump will never be forgotten. If you want more biography stories, don't forget to subscribe, like, and turn the notification bell. See you next time.